Hello to everybody and welcome to BAFF Talks online series, and this time it's on engineering topic. For those who don't know me, I am Eva Kauba and I'm representing BAFF programs in Estonia, and also today it is my honor to host this event. We have people with many people are here participating with different backgrounds. There are BAFF team members who are here in the Baltics and also in the US. We have our BAFF programs alumni, either people who have been in the internship program or researchers, but also we have people who are just interested in the topic and maybe not so familiar with the Baltic-American Freedom Foundation. So in case you haven't had the chance to see what we are all about, then first of all, do it later. It's all the information is on our website. But just to give you a very short information, our organization was established in 2010. And our mission is to deepen the ties between and among Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and the United States. And how we do it through programs of education and exchange, which are centering on economic growth and democratic values. As I said, there is a lot of information about us on our website. And actually, if you have more questions than my colleagues who are in the same position, meaning representing BAFF programs in Lithuania and Latvia, Ingrida Laurinavic in Lithuania and Ilse Pempere in Latvia, then reach out to them if you have more questions. And as I mentioned, we have many alumni here, and one program that unites today's speakers is called Professional Internship Program. And before I give floors to them, before we dive into the exciting engineering world, I would also like to give the virtual floor to Katrin Liebert, who is also our internship program alumna, but also part of our alumni council member. She's one of the members. So Katrin, the floor is yours for a few words.
Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to welcome everyone to this talk as well. Very glad we have this program in place to do some knowledge sharing and showcase the kind of talent that we have among our alumni. This is going to be a more regular event now, so I hope people who are interested in different fields can recommend this to their friends as well, or people they know who are looking to go into these fields. Today's example is great. It's one from each Baltic country who are in engineering, and I'm sure you'll see how knowledgeable and well-spoken they are. The BAFF alumni itself, the community is huge. It's hundreds of people who have been on these BAFF programs in the US and have returned to the Baltics. So we have a great community going, and we hope to see you at the next events as well. Without further ado, Eva?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So this is the official introduction, and I think it's time to move on. We have 3 speakers, all are engineers with a different focus. And about the kind of household part, or how we do it. So we have planned approximately 20 minutes per speaker. And then later we have time for a question and answer session. In case you have some questions already during the talk, so to say, please type them in the chat box, and I will later ask them myself from the speakers. You can even write it, okay, my question is for Karel or for everyone. And later we can go through the questions, so to say, all together. And I think for now, this is it from my side. So it's my pleasure to give floor to the first speaker. And the order is just from north to south. So we start with Estonia, and Karel is first. Then we move to Latvia, and Janis will take over. And last but definitely not least is time for Vytautas to share his knowledge and experience. So, okay, thank you. And Karel, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the warm welcome. Let me just try and share my screen.
Yeah.
And let me know if you can see it. Okay, can you see it? Is it on full screen nicely?
I see it well. I don't know how others are. If you can
Okay.
note. Yeah, super.
Okay, all right, let's get started then. Hello, it's very nice to be here. It's very nice to meet you all. I'm very happy that it's such a popular event. And once again, thank you for the warm welcome. So my name is Karel. I am from Estonia, and I'm working as an acoustic consultant at an Estonian company called Kajaja Acoustics OÜ. And I'm here to talk about all things engineering, all things America. I'm going to give a brief introduction about myself. I'm going to talk about my career so far, different positions I've held. I'm going to talk briefly about my experience in America as the professional internship program alumnus that I am. And to top it off, I'm going to talk about a couple of lessons learned along the way, and we're going to have a Q&A at the end. So this is me. This is me from a couple of different stages in my life and my career so far. So a brief introduction. I am holding a master's degree in civil engineering from Tallinn University of Technology. I started my career as a structural engineer at an Estonian company called PCC Projekt, which stands for precast concrete. So I was a designer and a structural engineer there. Then I moved on to Skanska, which was the host organization for my internship via the Baltic-American Freedom Foundation. I spent a year in Boston, Massachusetts, working as a VDC engineer. VDC stands for Virtual Design and Construction. And I was working at the Innovative Construction Solutions team. And when I moved back to Estonia, I started working as an acoustic consultant at the Kajaja Acoustics, which is my current position. So I can almost hear you all collectively going and thinking, what does an acoustic consultant do? I've never heard of such a person, right? So my day-to-day job consists mainly of consulting and helping engineers and architects and designers with all things noise, basically. I consult people about the sound insulation in buildings, which simply put means that no one wants to hear their neighbors. I'm sure we've all been there, so my job is to make sure that you don't hear them. Then the second topic would be room acoustics, which means how does a room sound? So it's maybe not as critical in dwellings or apartment buildings, but it is critical in cinemas or concert halls or theaters or bars or outdoor venues or whatever. So that's kind of the second part. Third part would be vibration control, which has mainly got to do with the technical equipment inside buildings. So ventilators, coolers, all things HVAC, all things, all piping, all water faucets, and so on. And then I've put down noise modeling and noise mitigation measures, which pretty much means noise outdoors. So whatever the noise might be, it might be traffic, it might be planes, cars, factories, I have a picture of a power plant here. So pretty much all things noise. And that part of my job consists of environmental impact assessments and traffic noise assessments and noise mitigation measures. Pretty much means that if the noise limits are exceeded at some locations, I am the one that designs the noise barriers, earth mounts, whatever you need to mitigate the noise and not exceed the noise limits. And then I deal with acoustical measurements. I have taken a couple of pictures here. The left one, I am measuring sound insulation between two rooms, and on the right picture, I am measuring the environmental noise outdoors. So a very brief overview about my day-to-day work. I have collected a couple of snapshots of different projects I have been working on in the past or I'm working on at the moment, and I try to take a project from each of my career phases. So on the top left corner, you can see a multifunctional building in Stockholm. It's called Pelaren. It's near the Stockholm Globe, the concert venue there. And that is from my time as a structural engineer. So in that building, all of the ceilings are calculated and designed by me. So next time you're in Stockholm, you can stop by and and visit the building. Then I've chosen two projects from my time in the States. The one at the top right corner is called University of New Hampshire Spalding Hall. They did a total reconstruction of a building there on the university campus. And the problem there was that the building is old by American standards. It was built in the 50s, I think. So they didn't have any existing documentation or plan drawings or nothing. So my job was to go in and laser scan the entire building from top to bottom and to create a point cloud of the building. And architects used that to generate plan drawings and section drawings so they could start planning the renovation. And a very interesting project I was involved with is the one on the bottom right. It's the Portland Airport expansion. It was the Concourse E, I think, if my memory doesn't fail me. And I went there and laser scanned the erected steel members to make sure that they are at the right location and there are no deviations from the project. And a couple of more recent projects I've been working on is the Estonian National Broadcasting new TV building. I'm working as an acoustic consultant there. As you can imagine, a TV building has higher acoustical requirements than maybe apartment buildings, because you have to be able to broadcast and you can't have police sirens or what have you mess up the experience. And then the highly controversial Rail Baltica project, I am the one responsible for designing the noise mitigation measures for that. So if in the future you're riding on the train and you see noise barriers somewhere, they are designed by me. So just to name a few, it was very hard to choose just a couple of projects. But I hope that's a brief interview or overview, not interview. A couple of years ago, I had the amazing opportunity of doing a BAFF internship. And I think this map represents my time in the States pretty well. So the yellow dots are the places I I went to during my time in America. I was working at Boston, Massachusetts. I was working at a company called Skanska, which is a Swedish company originally, but nowadays they're working all over the world. And as I stated previously, I was working as a VDC engineer at the Innovative Construction Solutions team. And the experience was pretty amazing because my responsibilities there were testing out all types of new software and machinery. So I got to play with lots of new toys, a lot of very expensive toys, and I got to assess whether they were right for a big construction company, whether they were useful or not. And the job allowed me to travel a lot. So I had different projects in Portland, in New Hampshire. I was working in Brooklyn, in New York. I had the pleasure of going to Houston, Texas for work. I went to Vegas for a whole week at the company's expense. It was pretty sweet. And overall, I understand that some of you are actually on the internship at the moment. So I guess times have changed a bit. Obviously, none of us knew about COVID back in 2018. So my experience might have been a bit different than the experience of the scholars at the moment. But I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're enjoying your time there, because I did. If I think back to the BAFF internship, for me, it was mainly a social experience. I don't think back to the work part as much as I do to the social part. I got to travel a lot. I met a number of amazing people. I made new friends, hopefully for life, and I got to see and cherish different cultures, and it's allowed me to grow as a person. I think it's hard to overstate the value of the BAFF internship. And I've selected a couple of pictures here. I'm sure everybody recognizes the bridge on the left picture. On the picture on the right, I'm enjoying a local culture in Mexico that's taken in Mexico City. I didn't go there for work, but I traveled there for sightseeing, and it was a trip I'll remember for a long time. And the two pictures in the middle are, well, just some social pictures. I think the topmost is from the BAFF enrichment trip in Nashville, and the bottom one is from my apartment. So these are my roommates and the people who lived in the same house as I did. So I guess what I'm trying to say is enjoy your time in America. It's a year is not that long. I've selected a couple of lessons learned from my time as an engineer, and I've tried to make them short and to the point here. So I've divided them into two categories. The first one is general. And I think one of the most important lessons I've learned is that engineering is a broad field. Find your passion. I can't really overstate how broad it is, because, well, from my own personal experience, I worked at 3 totally different companies. My responsibilities there have been totally different, and well, I mean, I haven't enjoyed them equally. Let's put it that way. And that's where the find your passion part comes from. because for the moment, I think I have found my passion. But moving on to the second point, which reads, don't be afraid to deviate from the mainstream. What I mean by that is we in the technical field, we have this idea that everything is pretty much set out for us. If you go to the university, I graduated as a construction engineer, so I have to be a structural engineer for the remainder of my life. That's not really true. I mean, I really like this quote on the bottom here by John Lennon, which goes, I'm an artist, and if you give me a tube, I'll bring you something out of it. This really resonates with me, and I think it's easily applicable to engineering as well. If you graduate as an engineer, you don't need to, or you might not be a structural engineer or a construction engineer or a mechanical engineer for your life, but the skills and the value you get out of education is interchangeable between the fields. And if you learn to solve problems, you can solve problems at any field. It's not, the specialization is not that important in my experience. And the third point I'd like to point out is propose solutions, because no one likes people who go, that can't be done. Yes, it can. It probably can. Whatever it is, it probably can. It's your job as an engineer to figure out how. So that's my third big general point. A couple of things I've picked up along the way from just the day-to-day work is try and see the big picture. Every once in a while, just try and take a step back and think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, who is it good for, and could it be done better in any way. Second point I've written down here is communication skill is highly valuable, because I found out that you can be a great engineer, you can be the best engineer in the world, but if you can't communicate your ideas or your thoughts to the client or your team or your colleagues, then the ideas might just stay inside your head, and nothing good is going to come out of them. So communication is key. My personal favorite, automate repetitive tasks. We are not machines. You don't have to do repetitive tasks. Think about solutions and try and automate them. I'm going to stop at that. And the biggest takeaway for me personally from my time in America is the last point: innovations should solve existing problems. Because a part of my job in America was I had to go around and teach the site teams to how to use new technology or new softwares, or how to use a 360 camera. And if the site team didn't find value in the innovation, and if they thought that the innovation is only gonna create them more work without the obvious or without it making anything easier, then they just ignored it. But if you found something that makes people's day-to-day jobs easier, they were very welcome to adapt it. In conclusion, the last slide was just a warm-up. My main lessons learned from my time as an engineer is stay curious, ask questions, and say yes. These are the three things that help you grow your career and help you be a good engineer. I think my 20 minutes is almost up. I have 19 minutes on the clock here. So at this point, I'd like to thank you all for your attention and give the mic to the next speaker. I understand we have the Q&A at the end, right?
Yes. So I hope you can stay. And we have even actually 2 questions already in the chat box, but let's take them later. So let's go like we agreed. Okay, thank you very much. That was very, very interesting. And as you just said, we can move on to our next speaker, who I can see at least the camera is on, so mic is not on. But Janis, that now the floor is yours.
Yes. Hello. I will try to connect. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
Not
it's
it.
coming. I see a white screen right now. If for some reason it doesn't work, we can actually even move to.
No, actually, I can't share my screen. Just
okay.
the right one.
Super. I see it already.
So
just a slide. Yeah,
okay.
just put the event slideshow, and then it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, but all good. I see, and I'm pretty sure others also see.
Now it's okay.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, all good. Go ahead.
Engineers.
Yeah.
So my name is Jan Skreits. Thank you for this opportunity to speak among those two amazing guys today, and happy to see all you. It's been a long time. Yes, a little bit about myself. So I am a co-owner and the CEO of two companies. So basically, the first company is virtual design and construction company Akmens Nami. And the second one is design development architectural company BAFF Designs. So we mainly operate here in Latvia, but we are kind of looking for diversification and looking for new markets. Yes, and finally, I'm also a board member of the Association for Construction Industry Digitalization here in Latvia. It's a non-profit, non-governmental society, which combines 40 members from the private sector, and the main activities of this organization are to just educate society through monthly meetups where we share progress on digitalization and BIM implementation. Progress, share our experience, conduct BIM training classes, and participate in different kind of pilot projects. So, and here about those first two companies, the co-owner and the CEO, it's basically means that my main day-to-day tasks are to just do basic project management for the companies, and also financial management. So the BAFF Designs is quite a big company, and will be one of the biggest design development companies in Latvia this year. So amongst 10 biggest companies in design development field. So yes, and then next about my career journey. So here it starts with the Riga Technical University as a civil engineer, bachelor in civil engineering. But it actually started way earlier, and I always had that passion for solving different kind of engineering matters, and was always interested how this how buildings are built, and interested in this construction process, although I didn't know anything about construction. So the first thing that I wanted to learn, I wanted to see is I wanted to learn actually the patience that construction guys have working 1 year, 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe even more on just one construction project. And at that time, as teenager, I just couldn't bear with that idea that you just work for one project for 5 years. I wanted to be somewhere instantly and change something instantly, basically. And yes, during studies, I also worked, and actually, after the studies, there's basically two options for me to be a civil engineer or a structural engineer, or just go to construction field. So I stayed with the second option, and I kind of felt that it fits me more than being a structural engineer. And I started to work for one of the biggest construction companies in Latvia, Arbis Skals, as a junior construction work supervisor. So, and during the years, I managed to get promotion to the construction project manager position. So, but when I started to work there, I actually I didn't know much again about the construction after even I finished my studies, and what I lacked at that time was just experience in the field and actually being in this construction process. And I would be honest and say that actually the university didn't provide necessary skills to be a construction project manager. So it was more technical and more engineering stuff. So that was kind of challenging for me also. And during the after this Riga Technical University bachelor degree, I continued my studies in construction and real estate management, just because I was interested in this construction management and planning process. So I completed those studies as well. And here it begins the fun part. And actually for this BAFF professional internship program, I worked, I think, around 2 years to get in this professional internship program. So it was a long-term goal for me, definitely. Everything started with the idea that I want to get some experience in specifically in United States, one of the biggest companies, Skanska USA. So I applied actually 3 times until I got there. First time I almost got in the program. Second time I felt short, but third time I prepared myself way much better and got in this program. And yes, actually I also was a VDC engineer for Skanska USA Civil in Waltham office, which is a civil construction office in Boston. So I was planning to get internship or get experience in project planning more than some engineering stuff which was provided by the company. For example, BIM. Actually, I didn't know anything about BIM when I started the professional internship, but I quickly understood that actually that's 100% goes with the planning process, and it goes along with my plans. And I got interested in this stuff, and the company really showed the value of this of BIM, which is building information modeling. So and this time was also very basically as Carl mentioned that it was a time for yourself, and I was able to enjoy myself and focus on my like for 100% focus on my employee brand. And also for me, it was very important in which like the environment and in which city I land in. And so I really fell in love with the Boston, and the company made sure that I do experience sports and other activities that city provided. And amongst that, there was also that I made a good friends with my coworkers, not just with them, but that mainly with coworkers, and also I got really good connections. And actually, I hope that I will be able soon to work with the company that I work for, with Skanska now, as business-to-business relationships. So yeah, that was the part in that was my journey's part in above professional internship program. After I returned to Latvia, I completed my MBA studies, and actually that was next level education for me, and that was just on a point for me, as I wanted to create my own business. And yes, and then I founded Akmens Nami, and got part in also architectural company Boo Designs. So basically, in last 4 years, when I joined Boo Designs team, we just we grow turnover from 20,000 euros per year, which was in 2016, to 1 million this year. So it's huge growth, and steep growth in just 4 years. Yes, and obviously the question is about what is next. What is next in my career? And I do have several opportunities to involve my company, which seems kind of obvious. Change industries, maybe change, go to different business, and as also. The engineering provides you with the options that you can just do a lot of things. For example, as I mentioned, and as I have experienced that you have like when you complete studies as a civil engineer, you can go and be a structural engineer, and there's a lot of parts that you can take in construction industry. So for me, I chose construction work management and project management, which was more suited for which was more suited for me. The finally is just to use my experience and my knowledge and work for someone else. So to be honest, I have failed to think about my next 5 years plan. For I don't know, 10 years ago, I had a I completely knew what I want to do in the next 5 years, but for now, it's been busy with my companies, and it takes a lot of time. So yes, I haven't thought about that, and I'm kind of thinking about more involving my company and or a change with the industry and go to the new businesses. And about the lessons learned, so there's 4 main lessons that I have learned for myself, and kind of yes, that's for me it is be very good at least in one thing. So from my experience, I somehow remember that it's very important not to also scatter your attention to many directions and be very good in specifically one thing. And as also Carl mentioned that he's specifically good in this acoustics, and he went that direction. For myself, it's project planning and managing projects, and also to be patient. And the construction industry and all those construction projects made me learn that it's not that you have to value your time and plan it accordingly. So before that, I wanted everything now and on the spot. After completing civil engineering bachelor degree, I was ready to be a CEO of a construction company. But yes, it somehow I learned that I have to be patient, and everything comes with time again. And yes, and be ready for the opportunities presented to you. And in my case, BIM, this was a thing that I didn't plan, but it somehow came into my career. And yeah, I took this opportunity and brought back the idea about the BIM, and tried to implement and sell those services here in Latvia. So yes, from my part, that's it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. This was also, again, very interesting and different. So this is very good. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure you also noticed that the comments or questions were popping up in the chat box. So we will go through them together later after our last speaker, who is already sharing the screen, which is great. So thank you, Jānis, and we will go on soon. All right, so we can move on well on time. And I guess floor is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. I'll just probably hide this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All good. We see, at least I see everything and all is fine.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Vytautas Tamulenas. I'm Deputy Project Manager and Head of Digital Design Solutions of development in Kelprojektas company. It's one of the biggest companies in the infrastructure projects. So just today I would like to share my knowledge and experience of my engineering journey, and particularly how I got into the field, and how American experience helped me really a lot. So let's move on. So basically, as all the participants already told, that you have to be really persistent on your goal. I mean, for me, was also not from a first attempt to reach American dream. I did try really hard, and then on my second attempt, I really finally managed. So that was the 2016 year. 2016 was really my lucky year. So before I was a structural engineer. I was trying to be as much as creative as possible, participating, building spaghetti bridges, paper Eiffel Tower, or something to impress the committee, to give me a chance to show myself in the United States. And basically I wanted something different, because I had experience in some of the European and in Asia professional training activities. So I thought, like, why not? It would really make a sense to try right now an American experience. So as for everyone, it's really important to find your own way to stand out. And my goal, my idea was, why not to try to participate at this Baltic-American Freedom Foundation opportunity, and to try the best what they could give, and then how it could work for me later. Yeah, by all means, let's move on. So what it gave, I mean, this opportunity to be at the professional program really gave a lot of stuff. So starting from amazing activities, sharing outside the working hours, to possibilities to travel, to see American different cities, different states, to travel somewhere abroad. America, I was in Mexico, had an opportunity to have a vacation there during the winter. It was really, really nice and pleasant. Not to mention lifelong friends, so very good ones, even some of the big friends as well. So really, memory, really hard to tell that it could be a good opportunity to broaden yourself and then to meet people you never could ever could experience their knowledge about the living and so on. Really challenging stuff was to see and to work with those people who are creating exceptional structures. My professional experience was also at the same company as for other guys in Boston, Skanska company. So I also worked in the same office as Yanis just mentioned before. So there was like by then it was rising group of BIM squad, as we called them, really good young talented guys, also with some very well experienced professionals as well in the team. So that combination made us a really good squad and do all the work to the maximum. So the thing is that after staying there, after staying in the United States, of course, whenever you're coming back, it seems like, okay, now you have to do something not to feel all those good effects as after hangover. Like you need to keep going, move forward to your professional career goals, forever, and then try to adapt that experience, which was great in the United States, somehow back in your home country. So basically, my background career was I was graduated from structural engineering, and was working as a structural engineer. And then I started some research work at the university as a bridge examiner, as a lecturer. And finally, that moment came where I just become a participant of a Baltic-American Freedom Foundation, and I got realized that those words, USA, is like something as a magical keyword. Since then it become, I don't know, like crazy. Everyone was once I came back and I started looking for a job, I was the one who was receiving the calls. They wanted to invite me for interviews, and they were offering me a job, and I was in a position just to pick the best option, the best suit for me, and just to find my way, how I could use that experience gathered in the United States on the best way in here in Lithuania. So it became a moment to shine for myself, and I really found that superstar, which made me so lucky right now where I am. And for myself it was BIM stuff, as already Yanis mentioned. BIM in the engineering, in the structural design and construction field industry is really something very, very modern right now, and then coming to as a big wave. It's not only like everyone is used to know already by 3D modeling and all the stuff what you could see in some like space, not only on the drawings in 2D, but that BIM adds up a lot of stuff, which is except besides those models, also some information attached to those elements, information management, joint collaboration, working, sharing all the stuff you have, not only in your company but also with other contractors, other designers who are working on some of the projects, and also with some other governmental institutions which are creating some rules and trying to implement the best practices. So I was really lucky that after coming back to Lithuania, I had a chance to work at that practice company. So there's where I started my infrastructure design using the most up-to-date BIM technologies. So we were creating different type of bridges, roads, other infrastructure and elements. So basically from scratch, from very beginning of modeling, calculating, creating visualizations, and then creating a full set of elements, what could be useful for more efficient, faster implementation of the projects. And the key goal was where my actual key star was the adoption of programming logic into structural design. So basically, when I find out, everyone already told that you have to avoid repetitive tasks. We're not machines. We have to use our knowledge, our brains more for some creative tasks, and to leave those repetitive, sometimes really boring stuff for scripts, for machinery to do. So in our company, I had a chance to implement some programming stuff into the structural design, and that's where my blooming position started, and then my whole career is based right now on. So a lot of experience, scripting, testing, of course failing, but finally eventually succeeding. So we're creating multiple BIM development tools, just for now, just for our inner design projects, starting from some noise barriers or bridge designs, in order to implement them in a really fast, efficient way, and then try to avoid repetitive tasks. So not only it helps to be faster on some project deliveries, but also it helps to take care of the quality control, and try and helps you to get some more examples, provide better solutions of your design, and so on. Yeah, here it is, one of the latest examples of what I had created during my work, is a quality clash control for reinforcement. So in our work, in our design, we do have a lot of reinforcement for different kind of structures. So basically, you have to be sure that once your presented model is ready, I mean, once you're gonna get those rebars in the construction site, they're not gonna clash. They're not gonna cause a lot of problem installing them actually on site. So somehow you have to be sure that your design, what other engineers has done, is compatible and is not gonna cause a lot of problems. Because from our experience, I had a really good experience at Skanska, where they said one day when they were waiting for some solutions because of some mistakes done, it cost them for example $50,000. So it's crazy amount of money to be avoided and to be redirected to better places if you could solve your design solutions and quality control, if you could assure it on time. Basically what I could say, that my whole career started at the university, and as I said, first I started as a bachelor degree as a structural engineer, then I continued on my master's in bridge engineering, and I always seek to continuous learning, continuous studies. So at other universities where I could get the other country's practice, and then to get more knowledge as much as possible. Of course, studies is nothing besides the practice, and I'm really happy that I could implement my research, my research practice in Lithuanian Research of Council during some of the laboratory works. But for what I'm happy is that I had a chance from Baltic-American Freedom Foundation to receive the scholarship for 1 year practice at Skanska in Boston, and to get the best knowledge whatsoever I had before in my life. So right after that, coming back, my career started blooming, as I said, and then it's really good. Then you're really, I mean, probably this is the one of the biggest advantages when what we are here in Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Our countries are not big, so if you're really good at something, as Jan has mentioned before, it really helps a lot to stand out. I mean, if you have a good knowledge, which is based on American experience, so it's like something nobody has around you. So you become very, very exceptional and very vulnerable, and it pays you off a lot. So basically, for all what I could tell, for all those circles, for all those like cycles, what I faced, what I go through, the one major aspect was that I definitely was like, somehow it was in my blood, but definitely I was connecting, building and connecting bridges between each of those phases, and probably this is the best. That's why it is our lodging of Baltic-American Freedom Foundation, that it really bridges and connects the ties between Baltic states and United States. So I found for myself the bridge, the best option to connect, and probably that's I'm so happy and luckily working with those infrastructure projects as bridges, and I'm so much of succeed. So that's my story. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you very much for sharing your story. Another different one. So very interesting, especially for the people in case like myself who doesn't know so much about engineering, and so it's great to hear. Guess now we can move on to the questions. I think all the speakers, I think actually everybody who feels, I think we are all welcome to turn the videos on, so it's more like a human touch here, but it's not mandatory, of course. But okay, let's start. We have many questions and comments here. So Kaarel and Janis and Vytautas, I think we can do it together, right? Let's have a look together. I have it all open, and I think Vytautas himself asked the first one from Kaarel.
Yes, I could ask him directly. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I was curious, Karel, about which DPS sections of Rebaltica project are you working on?
So I'm working on the design section 1 and 2, the Estonian design sections. So from Tallinn to Pärnu.
Okay, because we're working, personally myself, also working in Lithuania in design section 1 and 2. So both sections.
So we're only missing someone from Latvia.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems like Janis should join us in between.
Yeah. Okay. Then Marta says, I will read it then as first agreed, that it was to Kaarel, that Kaarel, you have experienced a lot of different sounds in your work. Which is your most and least favorite sound or noise that you have heard?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
In my field of work, my favorite sound is, of course, silence, because that's the entire reason for my work, to create silence. So I'm gonna go with silence. And the least favorite is not from my career, but from my time at the university, and the least favorite sound was by my neighbors.
Yeah.
So
from
so
the dorm?
No, just my neighbors in an apartment building. There's an old Soviet apartment in Mustamäe, so you can imagine.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with silence and neighbors.
Very relevant in that sense. Okay. Then we have just nice comments from Maggie here and Henris from both saying thanks for great presentations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also from Elsa. And then Edward is asking, what is noise level in Tallinn? And if you compare it, and can you compare it to the US cities? And also thank you for the presentation.
That's a great question. The noise levels in cities, the main source of noise, I would say, is from traffic. And when you're living next to a highway, you can imagine how loud that can be. This reminds me of so I was living in Boston, right? And Boston did a huge citywide job called the Great Dig of Boston, where they dug up the entire city and put the highways underground. So it's not an answer to your question, but it's just something I would recommend for everybody to look up, and it's a great example of out of the box thinking. But otherwise, all major cities are pretty noisy, so everything is comparable. Traffic is depends on the traffic.
Yeah, okay. Then there are more compliments about the presentation and about your career. And then another question from Edward about your first favorite sports team in Boston. I think it was you. No, that was, sorry, that was not you. That was already our next speaker.
Yanis,
that's for Yanis, because Yanis had this photo. I'm sorry, about the sports teams.
Yes, so while I was in Boston, I managed to experience Boston Celtics, Red Sox, and also Patriots. And my most favorite was Red Sox. Like probably I didn't like the sport that much, but Boston Red Sox was a good time for me and my friends. So yeah.
So you went to see them, right?
Yes, we went. I mean, like we went to see live. All those three.
So how well can you sing "Sweet Caroline"?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs right now. But yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's move on with the questions written here, and then I think we might have more. At least I have. Now it's a comment from Elsa, who is sending basically high fives to Yanis, and she herself is also RTU, and I'm sorry, there is a Riga Technical University, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and RBS graduate too, and she says that that engineering and business this together equals future. So if you want to comment on that, or maybe Elsa wants to say anything extra.
I completely agree. I just want to add that actually, MBA studies is a good addition to any profession, medicine, IT, you name it.
Yeah. And there are more compliments and some a little bit funny comment from Edward, but in general, compliments towards the presentation and Rail Baltic and BAFF.
Thank you.
And then we move to Vytautas. Again, many thanks for the presentation and building bridges in all possible ways. Many compliments here. I think Vytautas, you can read it again from Elsa from Vilnius Tech, and a nice comment from Marta, who says that it was kind of, she loves how it all started with the spaghetti bridge construction. So it was very, that was also very nice, like visual, and where you have reached now. So it looks like everything is possible, right? Sure. Then a question from Rasa. I guess this goes for Vytautas. Rasa, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is, yeah. How many of your projects are executed for clients in the Baltics, and how much of the demand in the Baltic is from the private sector?
Yeah, so usually probably the biggest majority is for the clients, for some governmental authorities in the Baltic states, and for some, like governmental authorities. And for private sector, we usually have some of the examples where on the cases, I could say, I don't know, like 20% and 80, something like that. 20% would be like something private sector. It's definitely less because, you know, nobody wants to build a bridge on, you know, on his own, on his private needs, especially when we have like some big supermarkets or something being built and they have to renovate surroundings. Sometimes you not always, but sometimes it happens that you have to clean up the area, build some, pave new roads, and also some of the bridges. So.
Okay, thank you for that. And now is a nice comment from Ilse Dorskina, who says, who is thanking everybody for the presentations and good job, and says that looks like Golden Gate Bridge is the most popular spot for photos in the US. I totally agree, especially for the engineers, right? So yeah, yeah. Now, a question from Ular, who is kind of, this goes for everybody basically. Would you share some professional failures that have been good learning lessons, hopefully?
I can take that. I think something I've learned along the way is sometimes the projects that seem to be very easy in the beginning can turn out to be the most difficult jobs. So I guess the lesson is don't underestimate anything.
Yanis or Vitatus?
I could add up probably. It's semi-professional, but I had an opportunity. I actually made a break to make my studies, to finalize my studies. But you know, sometimes it seems like you have to split. Yeah, the working day is like by all means not like unlimited. So you have to share your working hours to your life balance and all for your studies. So my one of the professional fails, I could say, like I made a gap to finalize my studies, but I didn't manage to finalize the studies, but I got the even better work. So somehow my professional failure, my studies failure became a even better improvement for my future career. So
yeah. Okay, thank you.
So for myself, I think maybe not the biggest ones, but the biggest failure could be that I overstating my abilities to do the work, and that happens a lot. And I couldn't say that I have learned, and from that, I do take too much job, too much work. So this is still thing that I should learn and manage more precisely.
Time management, I guess, and saying no, I guess it's an issue.
Well, actually, that's very important. I just recently read a book where it's stated that saying no, it's very important. A lot of people fail to do that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all. Another question, which is for everybody. This is from Ingrida, and she's asking, what was the most challenging for you while your stay in the US? Again, this is for all the speakers. So whoever wants to go first.
yeah, I could go first. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge was to become like a sponge and gather all that experience which is floating into you. I mean, probably for everyone who was participating in this program was the key point. As long as you're there, you have to take everything what's possible. I mean, so probably the challenge was to say, I mean, in this case, you were not in the position to say no for something, because you the new guy here, you have to prove yourself. So just to get as much as possible, and try to show everyone that you're capable of to do everything. I mean, and then that's probably our success story.
Can I just add a comment here, because it aligns to what I wanted to say earlier. So I wanted to say thank you, the three of you, for presenting today. I really enjoyed hearing from you afterwards, because typically that's something that regularly happens. So It's great to hear how much you have learned, and I really loved hearing your lessons learned and sharing them with everybody. So the note I wanted to add is that related to what Vitauta said, accept all the opportunities that come your way, you embrace them and do your best and all of that. It has not been a notice by Skanska, because every time I talk to Albert or Paul, they always mention the three of you. So you always, you have left great footprints with them. So that's an example of how you have been really shining while you're there. And I think it left a mark, and it helps you moving forward with your successful careers. I'm very proud of the three of you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Nice to hear.
Yeah. What about Karel now and Janis?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge for me was shedding my Estonian mindset because we Estonians, we tend to be very cold and closed. So I guess the beginning was I needed to readjust or recalibrate myself a bit.
Yeah.
For me, it was similar as Vito just said. It's just not getting tired of everything around you. It's all new things that you have to experience. Just that was the most challenging thing.
All right.
But I would say it was not exhausting, I could say. I mean, as long as you're in a good position, you're really enjoying what you're getting, and yeah, I could say.
No, not definitely not exhausting. It was just every day you're doing something. You're not just
Yeah. I almost felt bad staying at home.
Yeah. I guess this is something what we've heard from other interns from different fields as well, that the majority of them feel like they have to be everywhere and get everything, because the program in the US is always with the sure end date. So you have to get everything. And yeah, I guess it can be exhausting a little bit. All right. And let's move on. This is another question from Edward, and this is for all the speakers. How long is the lifespan of a modern building?
From 50 years up is the simple answer, I guess. 50 to 100 years.
I could add, from the bridge perspective, is something usual, 100 years. Yeah, 100 years is common standard.
I think that for some buildings, maybe private houses, it's shorter than it was.
Yeah.
It's definitely shorter because people like to change things, and it's mainly because of that. And they want to adjust to the current situation. So,
but
for the private buildings, it's for private houses, it's way much shorter.
But for a random apartment building, it's going to be 50 years.
Okay.
And also it means like it not necessarily is like that house is gonna last for 100 years or for 50 years without any maintenance and then repairs or something. So basically the major structure is gonna last like that, but the rest, like the cosmetic repair, has to be done regularly.
Yeah. I have a question from my side as well, actually, because at least last two speakers mentioned more of this BIM program, and I remember also from a while ago, several years ago, when this BIM was a new thing, at least during the interviews while we were interviewing the candidates. How is it now? I mean, you went to the US, you got the experience, and you came back. Is it still so that it's so new and you are kind of sharing all the information and, so to say, enlightening your colleagues, or is it more common now in the Baltics?
I could say that it's more common. Like a lot of people know what are you talking about overall, in general. Of course, there are a lot of nuances and but which you can share and discuss. But I think the general industry knows it's been.
Definitely now this field is spreading and expanding rapidly, but as we were, you know, those 2 or 3 years ago when we got the really good knowledge and came here, that's why probably we are in the positions right now. We're leading in our companies these strategies. And I know in Latvia also the whole country is going for some legislation. In Lithuania as well, starting from New Year's, we're gonna have more, you know, like official documents regulating this design, this kind of implementation of BIM. So actually, a big era is upcoming, and a lot of adoption has to be done upfront.
Yes, same here. It's definitely more common, but we still have ways to go, and it depends on the client as well.
Yeah. All right. Another question which has appeared. I guess it's to everybody. What do you think of energy-saving building without an option to open windows, especially during the COVID-19 time?
Energy saving good, COVID bad.
Yeah. But I guess the ventilation system.
Yeah,
is
of course, it
here.
poses some new and interesting problems, but I'm not a doctor. I do not have a good answer at the moment.
Yeah.
Additional thing that we have to adjust and think about in engineering and developing those ventilation projects, HVAC projects. So it's interesting.
Well, of course, circulating the same air and potentially spreading germs is not ideal, of course.
Yeah. And now Edward is adding something, saying that this question is actually very real because, for example, in the US, one advice is to open windows when reopening the schools. But I guess this is how it is. You have to find the best solution in this crazy time. So, yeah. I have another question to all of the speakers. What has been the biggest biggest professional throughout the career, like maybe you can't even name it, but like a big failure where it wasn't just an inner thing, but it really had like an effect, or like it really affected something, or something went really, really wrong. And this is I'm asking it for the audience, members of the audience who might be here, university students, and they maybe have some fears that, okay, what if I go totally wrong with some, I don't know, a drawing or something very professional, your field related.
Okay, maybe I could start a bit. I have one particular moment in my mind that I just couldn't bear, CAD drawings and doing this drawing stuff for structural engineers, and I constantly made mistakes, but just small, maybe minor mistakes, but it was definitely not what I wanted to do, just make drawings and stuff like that. And that made me overthink which direction I want to go and be more specifically which field I want to go. So I chose project management instead, and construction side.
Yeah. I know I'm really a little bit like copying Ular's question here, but maybe you can like mention something like you just said, like Karel, without us.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I think, luckily in my field, in bridge engineering, we didn't have any accidents, so when the bridge could collapse or something like that. But I think from the personal stuff of you, it could be something that you really, as probably for all of us, we're putting a lot of efforts. I mean, we're pushing ourselves to the best quality whatsoever, and the worst failure is to lose like motivation for yourself. And probably whenever you find yourself you're not getting the satisfaction of what you're doing right now anymore, it really becomes something which causes some of the mistakes. You're not being so accurate enough. You lose your concentration, and something could turn wrong. But basically, just find your way to move on, and then try to be as much fashionable as always.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that the pressure of failing, or the constant threat of failing, it's very real. It's something that's always in the back of my mind. Luckily, nothing has happened, nothing major has happened so far. Knock on wood, right? But the fear, the constant fear, is very real. I know it's not maybe the answer you want to hear, but that's
no, it is actually, it's relevant. Yeah.
And that's a part of engineering. The biggest failure so far, I think, if I've had to redesign something I've already designed, it only affects the timetable or the schedules, and that can be a monetary issue, and that can cause the delays are always expensive.
Okay, thank you. And a traditional BAFF question from Ilse, where do you see yourself in 10, 15 years professionally?
Retired.
Already? Well done.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
All right.
15 years, definitely. I think that could be, for myself, that could be definitely goal, and just not to be heavily involved in the business, but just do things. But of course, yeah, but for myself, definitely I see that I'll be doing also some other businesses and go different directions. Can't specify which ones currently. Yeah.
I could say that probably as I'm on the very beginning of my road, and the whole country and the whole, I mean, probably the world is going towards that digitalization. So just to be a leading person, which is really, I think, really feasible and doable. Having own team, like some teaching, learning, constantly learning, and teaching the younger ones the best knowledge, the best experiences, and sharing that knowledge. I mean, still going on the same loop, same circle as I showed in my presentation. Probably just keep going and keep motivating the other ones. As you reach something, you could share the other ones which haven't done yet.
Yeah, I guess managerial position of some sort, having a own team of specialists who I then consult or supervisor, something like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to also add that I definitely also see myself do more social work and educate younger professionals, and more work probably with the Association for Construction Industry Digitalization here in Latvia, and maybe broader also.
The last question from my side, because you just mentioned this younger generation, and so let's imagine that among the audience here there is somebody who is studying to be an engineer, and all the studies and I don't know, career thoughts and so on, a lot of pressure. I mean, how do you keep yourself, I don't want to say motivated, but is there, for example, somebody you follow? Do you have a mentor? Do you have, I don't know, engineering guru who you follow and kind of try to keep up with this person? Or if there is anything like this in your field, because there are other fields where I can tell that, yeah, it's so easy to follow somebody.
Maybe not a person, but I'd like to. Well, engineering is a pretty rewarding job. It's pretty amazing to see a drawing being, or a building being built from your drawings. It's a pretty rewarding sight to see.
So that gives this energy to go on and.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's like a definitely it's not like a single player game. Being an engineer is like it really depends on the team. So personally myself, definitely, as long as you are in a team where you could say that there are like better than you, from whom you could learn and then gather all the knowledge and then try to adapt to your own needs. So just definitely this is like a team playing, teamwork. And yeah, once you are in a good team, once you have a good colleagues to chat, to help you out on different engineering task solutions, so yeah, you're really good to go, and you never lose the motivation. I mean,
Okay.
I completely agree with Vytautas, and additionally for me, it's what motivates me as an engineer and also as a business person is that what I see in the news, what are new ventures are happening, and what are other people are doing and creating so amazing things, and actually that's kind of what motivates me doing more work and be more creative in what I do.
I could also add, I mean, the events like this, what we have right now, it really motivates. I mean, as when you are in a place where yeah, everyone is like really interested, we're receiving a lot of questions. So as already with Yanis as well, we're sharing the knowledge in Lithuania, Latvia. We have some common presentations. So it's like whenever we're sharing around us on the same topic, we're sharing our knowledge. It's like it's so beneficial and really beneficial to see to meet the same minded people and hear their knowledge and their experience.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, thank you. This is actually a nice summary from all of you to kind of wrap this event up, because we are almost done with the time, unless somebody has another burning question that needs an answer today.
I just want to say give the greetings to Madis, who said that he was thinking that the hardest thing was American Smile, but I personally for myself was like one of the easiest ones, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we mastered
Sorry,
it.
I forgot to mention this. Yeah. I saw the comment, but yeah. And Madis is another engineer from Estonia who was also in Skanska. So
exactly.
Yes.
Hi, Madis.
I saw he was there as well. And
I saw, but then he disappeared.
He's there.
Okay. Yeah, I see Madis. I'm sorry, I see the name. But okay, I think we are done with this event, with engineering topic, at least for today. But it was very inspirational, and as Maggie said, it was very nice to hear your stories, and even though we have heard parts of it during the check-in, but I think the additional value is also that we hear now how your careers have developed after some time, and it's I think it's very rewarding for us as well, for the BAFF team, and as I said, inspirational. So thank you all the speakers, and thank you audience, and thank you for active chat box here. I was very happy. I was writing questions myself all the time, but there was no need for that. And another thing I wanted to share, we have similar events coming on totally different topics. On 25th of November, we will talk about political science and international relations. The format is basically the same. We'll have hopefully 3 speakers and hopefully nice stories again to hear. And on 9th of December, we will talk about arts and design. Again, same way, same format, just different topic. And in year 2021, we will continue, but the topics are still in the air. So just keep an eye on our social media and emails you get and so on. Again, thank you all for coming, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I just
thank you. It was good to see.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for organizing it.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.